The year is 1963 and a new era for BBC television has begun. I am, of course, talking about the first series of Doctor Who, and I have very mixed thoughts on this one. So I will go through each batch of episodes. Because I don't want this video to be too long, I won't go into too much detail, but by all means, if you wish to discuss these further with me or with other people, go nuts in the comments, because I have a lot of thoughts going on. I guess the biggest thing to answer is, what did I think of my first full experience of William Hartnell as the Doctor? I don't think we saw that much of him. I think, for the most part, the episodes were very much driven by Ian and Barbara, which for the first half of the series I did not like. I did not like that at all. We needed more of the Doctor. He didn't feel in control. He didn't have enough opportunity to share with us the knowledge that he has. But at the same time, because I'm not new to the show and I know what the Doctor's like, that wasn't as effective for me as I guess it could have been back in the day. Susan I liked as the character. I thought she was very spirited. I thought she's quite youthful and has a great attitude and a great approach to travelling with her grandfather. You know, she's not fazed by a lot of things, but she's also kind of scared at the right moments. So I liked her. But it's just Ian and Barbara that I had a huge problem with. When I discuss the episodes, there are some where I did like them and I thought they added value to the episodes, but for the most part it kind of felt like the Ian and Barbara show. Oh, Ian's gone missing, Barbara's under this magic, everything's going wrong for those two, we need to save them, or they're in charge and doing the saving, and I just wasn't a big fan of that. I think we had a great mix of timelines and threats. You know, we had physical beings, aliens, other creatures that were causing great threats, then we had more kind of non-sci-fi threats. They were like being trapped in different places and things. So I think in terms of visiting different places and timelines and planets, it worked really well. So an Unearthly Child, I did enjoy as an introduction. I thought it was nice enough, especially if I kind of think, right, I've no idea who the Doctor is, I've never heard of the TARDIS before, what is this all about? Yeah, I think it would have got me hooked. What I hadn't expected was the Daleks to pop up in the second batch of episodes, in the batch of episodes known as the Daleks, and it took me a long time to realise, by which I mean until I'd watched them all and actually googled the episodes to work out what on earth was going on, that this was set pre-Time War. Apparently the Time War was not a concept, certainly in the first few series or the first few Doctors. So I was like, why do they not know who the Doctor is? Why is the Doctor not fully aware of these creatures? It was very bizarre to watch as a new Who fan, but I loved it, and it felt like Doctor Who to me. And the Dalek voices sounded very much like really bad impersonations of the current Daleks. I can't get those words out. So it was very funny and a little bit of bad acting. In fact, I think a lot of the acting in this first series was a little bit off. But yeah, I love the Daleks. I always will. The Age of Destruction was the first time when I kind of really felt like it was the Ian and Barbara show. But the episode wasn't that bad. They're trapped in the TARDIS is misbehaving. This is the first time we get a proper look at the TARDIS. Now this is in black and white and we have a lot of really dodgy camera angles. So it's kind of, the TARDIS feels vast because you never get to see it full on the way that we kind of do nowadays with the TARDIS console. But I think it was a really nice introduction to what this TARDIS actually is, because in many ways it is an entity in its own. Marco Polo. The first one that has no footage, only the audio has survived, and somebody on YouTube has actually really cleverly created CGI images for the entire set of Marco Polo episodes. And I watched those and I definitely think it adds to it, because if I just listen to something without the visual, my brain wanders. We go to Central Asia in the 1200s and it just made me wonder, why do we never, with the current Doctor Who, or very rarely, go back in time to other countries? We tend to just stay in Britain, occasionally America, very now and then we go to Pompeii. So it was a really interesting setting, not what I was used to. It gave us some very different characters. In terms of being a sci-fi, it felt, apart from the time travel, it didn't really feel that sci-fi, but it was alright, and obviously one day, hopefully, we can find the visuals. We get to meet the Vurd in the Keys of Marinus, and they are really visually good. They have like these black wetsuits, and obviously not a lot of money went into those suits because very basic visual element of fear, but I really liked them. I really enjoyed them as characters. The Keys of Marinus they go on a quest to find these keys, and each episode is kind of like a little bite-sized adventure in its own that presents a new problem, and only if they present these keys will they regain access to the TARDIS. And having the TARDIS not accessible is something that we do encounter from time to time, primarily in Heaven Sent and Hell Bent, and I really enjoyed it. This is the first time that I actually kind of started to like Barbara. Then we go back in time to the Aztec warriors in the Aztecs. I love going back in history. I just love what the show does with historical settings, and this is kind of the first time we get a proper good look at the effects of tampering with history can have, as we know from future episodes that playing with the past can have really catastrophic effects, and we get a look at that. I loved meeting the Aztecs. I would love New Who to explore the Aztecs some more, and I hope that they do. The penultimate batch is the Sensorities, and here we are on a human spaceship, and something has gone completely wrong. They're being orbited. We have these alien creatures that are kind of really posing a threat, and I'm gonna eat my words. For the most part, apart from the latest one in series 10 and also the Satan Pit, I don't like New Who episodes that are set on spaceships because they're cliche. But this one I thought was a really fantastic introduction to that concept, and it does not belong in the pile of boring cliche rubbish, but then of course it couldn't because it was the start of its kind. Then we have Reigns of Terror, which is set during the French Revolution. Again, we need to start going to more foreign countries in New Who. It was brilliant. This one really plays on the fear of reality over the fear of fantasy. I find that was quite a common theme with this first series, that a lot of the threats, at least 60% of the threats, were more human-made than alien creature-made. And I kind of like that aspect. And we have a little bit of banter about Napoleon going on in this one. The Doctor was very standoffish, which I think William Hartnell's Doctor, from my first experience, puts up quite a barrier in front of him. And I know that a lot of other incarnations of the Doctor does that as well. But yeah, I really thoroughly enjoyed this one. This one may actually be my favourite out of them all. So we ended on a high. The Doctor had a very small but very poignant monologue at the end, and I thought it was a fantastic end to an alright series. Had I never seen any New Who, had I not fallen in love with David Tennant, if I just watched this series, would I continue watching it? I think I'd watch it in drips. But because I am already a fan and I do get a lot of enjoyment from aspects that I can then relate to in New Who, I kind of can't help binge watching it. I'm really looking forward to watching the next series and continuing with Hartnell. I'd love to know what you think of these episodes. As I said, these are very brief snapshot opinions, bite-sized reviews, but I'm happy to go nuts in the comment and we can discuss these more. Thank you for watching this overly long video, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye!